Absolutely, no bread.
Yes.
All circus.
England ain't won in 60 years.
Well, okay, we can start now. So, well, fantastic today.
Did you film it?
Speakers Corner, the 14th of July.
Send that to Heiko.
What is the 14th of July? It's Bastille Day.
Bastille Day.
When the masses in France overthrew the regime, broke into the Bastille prison, let out all the prisoners, and there was apparently only 10 in there. But anyway, they let them out and they chopped off loads of heads. So what are we going to do here?
We should.
Well,
with Thomas Paine, he argued against it.
there's been another attempt at killing some monarch or equivalent today, namely Donald Trump. Now,
Was it real or not?
well, of course it was real. I mean, he got hit by a bullet and someone else died. So, but I think the thing to know about this in the papers today is that the Democrats have got more armed members, percentage-wise, than the Republicans.
Really?
They've got more, 50% more. Yes, this is in the Guardian today. In the Guardian, they wouldn't want to admit such a
Well, it
thing.
must be true.
So the idea that the Republicans are these dangerous people with guns, actually, it's the wrong way round. It's the Democrats who are that. If there's anybody. But what does it mean? I mean, the whole thing in America, Democrat versus Republican, whatever happens, you get the same result. I mean, we know that Trump, for all his talk, was actually pro-vax,
Yes.
pro-depopulation.
Yes.
So, you know, where is the real thing? He's very pro-Israel.
Yes.
He says he will end the Gaza conflict, but how? If he's pro-Israel, what's he mean? What is he going to do? I don't know. It's talk, talk, talk. But why do people in America get so upset with each side when they're really on the same side?
Yes.
Are you against them? I don't know. It's something to understand. But I would say, watch this space. And now, of course, Trump has got a massive advantage over the Democrats because he's now a victim. And the only thing the Democrats can do is get rid of their own leader. They'll have to do that. They'll have to do that, or they've got no chance whatsoever. But they'll bring up another fake one anyway, another pseudo leader to mislead everybody. So anyway, what is the news happening this coming week? Court cases. First of all, report on big size court case last week. Be very brief about it. He had an appeal against whether or not he was validly, he was following a politician, Gavin Williamson, and was he right or not to do so? Anyway, he lost his appeal, and it was called stalking, and he was still found guilty. But there was no extra costs or charges against him, so it was like a sort of win but no loss. You see what I mean? Anyway, tomorrow we've got my case, the trial of me for allegedly unreasonably assaulting police when I defended Angela, who was being battered, tortured and attacked by the police and security at the BBC on the 11th of February last year. And it was an instinctive response. What else could I do? And also I knew I had to do that for our own well-being. Anyway, we can't talk about the case in detail here, but people know all those facts anyway, are well known. But I'd urge people, please, come to the court tomorrow. Come to the court. It's Southwark Crown Court at 9:30 to 10 tomorrow. It's England Fields next to Tudor Street, London. Now, a significant thing about the case is the judge in charge of me is the top judge in Southwark Crown Court. He's the recorder. And, well, I think it's fair to say that whenever me or some other people in the movement come up, they do behave rather strangely and over the top. You remember when I made some joke about burning down MPs' houses for doing, you know, locking us up, and it was a joke at Christmas. They sent the TSG after me at 1 AM 4 days later. So they have a history of complete overreaction. That's to make us scared. Now, it doesn't scare me, but it means that the stakes could be high tomorrow. It could be they want to send me down, or it could be the recorder wants to make sure that whatever happens, if I'm let off, there's a good reason to let me off. I don't know. We have a very, very sound good reasons why I should be let off, but let us see what happens. So please, tomorrow, 9:30 to 10, Southern Crown Court. Now, it may finish in the first day, or it may go on to a second day, I think. I think 2 days have been allocated. In my opinion, there's not a need for much evidence. On our side, maybe, but the other side, these things are accepted as fact. What actually happened was videos of. So there isn't much argument. It's my reasons for it which count. Now, the political situation we are in. First thing I would say is that, as predicted, I said that straight after the election, what happens in Gaza will be escalated and will escalate things against Russia, and there'll be more anti-Russian propaganda. That is exactly what happened, and Biden even went straight off to America, to some NATO whatever, to make more lies against Russia. They are preparing for something very bad. And I said this yesterday at the Camden PSC rally in Mornington Crescent, where they invited me to speak, which was very nice. And I also said the answer to all this is we've got to join up the fight back about Russia and about Gaza. And furthermore, the answer is take it to the streets, not begging these double-dealing politicians to do anything. And they will try and lock us down to stop us doing those things or whatever. So beware of lockdowns. Whatever the cause of the lockdown or the justification, it might be a climate lockdown, it might be a new deadly virus. We don't know. It might be a lockdown just to keep us in a place, an anti-war lockdown or rather a pro-war lockdown. I don't know, but they do want to do these things. So be ready. And what do we do if there's a lockdown? We take to the streets! Take to the streets! Take to the streets! Now, let's understand about this election result. Starmer has no mandate to do anything that he claims, because he got less votes for Labour this time than my brother got in 2019, which was meant to be a landslide against Labour. Let's be clear, my brother's landslide against Labour has more votes for Labour than Starmer. Note that. So Starmer has no mandate. We have the mandate to resist all these attacks on our rights, to resist the attacks on the people of Gaza and Palestine, and to support the rights of self-determination for people in East Ukraine. We have the mandate. And if you want to look further, Jeremy's vote in 2017 was miles ahead of Starmer. And he would have won that election, but for 3,000 votes, that's all, around the country in the right place. And he was torpedoed internally by double-dealing liars and thieves and agents of the World Economic Forum within the Labour Party. And they are still there. The Labour Party is now run by the World Economic Forum. It is not Labour anymore.
You and your brother Jeremy Corbyn
are
united
Well, and anyone who's got any illusions in regaining Labour is wasting their time. End it now. It's a dead parrot. You can't kill a dead parrot twice. It's a dead parrot.
Who do we vote for, Piers?
I don't vote for any of them. They're all rubbish. They're all a circus. And I would urge people who are thinking, oh, now we've got to set up a new party. Look, there are a lot of problems in that, because people say, oh, Jeremy must lead a new party. But you see, he's WEF light on many, many things. The Labour, ex-Labour left, and WEF Starmer light. They disagree about Gaza. They disagree about Gaza, which is of fundamental importance, yes. But the party has to cover everything, you know. And I say the way forward is united actions. Action on the ground. Build up a London resist. A resisting operation in every town. and maybe they can build into a party. I don't know, but we have to get away from the idea, oh people, all we need is a party and that will solve it. No, it's action on the ground which will solve things, and a party of effectiveness could arise from that.
Piers, the problem with your argument, with respect, is that we're all different individuals.
Yes.
And we all have different,
Well, that's the point I'm making.
different analysis and different interpretations of how the world
Of course we do. That's the point when we can't set up a party.
How
But look,
can you
no, come back to that.
How can you unite people? For example, how can you unite people to all be pacifists? As an example,
There's many things we can unite on. If people all agree they don't want a lockdown, then we march against a lockdown. That's straightforward. No, you're talking about ideology, right? I'm talking about united action. But it's a fair point, building a party fundamental. But let's move on and we can come into questions like that later. Now, that's the crucial way forward. So we might build a London Resist, I don't know. But people want to do that. And join in all these actions on the ground. And I'm very impressed by the Palestine Forum. I spoke on was active at Downing Street yesterday on that, as well as in Morning in Crescent, and that was very good. Now, what about opposition? I just want to say something about the result in Camden, because look, there were two candidates there, Feinstein and Weiss, both wanting to defeat Stark. But what we had was the perfect operation for a failed attempt to defeat Stark. Because look, what actually happened is loads of people did not vote Labour, but they didn't turn out to vote for either Feinstein or Weiss. They didn't bother to vote for them. And why is that? Well, Feinstein put himself in front. But look, Feinstein himself is Starmer light. Feinstein himself excluded this man and me from a meeting to support him, saying that, well, he was upset by my policy that men are men and women are women. He couldn't cope with that. Look, what Islam voter is Camden, and there's 30,000 of them, are going to vote for somebody who doesn't know the difference between men and women. It is utterly insane. They would have voted for Weiss, yes, but the others who wanted to defeat Starmer had their own setup, so they could never come together. It was a perfect formula for Starmer to get away with the monstrosity now before. So what happens next time? Well, I don't know, but we do want to get rid of Starmer. And how are we going to get rid of him? Well, there'll be action on the ground, and it will be certain things he's done, like let Jimmy Savile off the hook. Yes. What was behind all of that? We have to do our best to defeat Starmer on the ground and politically in terms of his own demeanour. Okay, well I think I should end there foremost. But look, having said these things, we've got to have united action on the war in Ukraine and on the genocide in Gaza. And I would say, avoid the use of ceasefire now. Of course we agree with the ceasefire now, but that phrase is used by the BBC to make you think that Hamas is an armed fighting force with aeroplanes, guns, whatever. It's not. It's nothing like that. We should say, cease bombing now. End the bombing now. And save Gaza. Save Gaza. Save the people. And the other two issues I didn't talk about, but we need to bring a lot more into them. The climate con is going to go more and more to the fore, and of course the virus con. They will probably try another fake virus in order to knock us down. We don't know, but they will try something. With Starmer in Parliament, they could try anything. But there will be rebellions in Parliament because they want too much, really. There's 100 MPs in there who don't care a damn. They're just there receiving the money. They won't be there next time. So they might rebel just for the hell of it. Who knows? Who knows? So, I'll end there and say, people, any questions in a second, but let's end with our usual slogan. Resist! Defy!
Do not comply! Resist! Defy! Do not comply!
Resist!
Defy! Do not comply! Free Piers! Free Piers!
Free beers? Where's the free beers?